Hilma Baron stands atop a landing platform, the highest point of this encampment, a building constructed by her enemies not just here at the dawn of time, but so too are they her enemy back home. But the very meaning of home has changed for Hilma in the days that she has spent here. Her home of old slipping from her mind, replaced by the faces of Hopetown, a place that she and others brought forth into existence from the environment around them, the wood from the trees, the stone from the earth, and the water that flows deep underground, keeps life living. And now she has finally accomplished, at least in part, what she wasn't able to do when her journey began so long ago. And Legionnaires, this is our last episode here at the dawn of time, but perhaps not our last episode with Hilma. There is much to do, and Hilma's continued existence is never a given. She will fight to get these people free, and then we'll show them just how sweet life can be at Hopetown. Kia ora, Legionnaires. Rycon here, and welcome back to Cataclysm, Innawood. We are here for our final episode with Hilma Baron. And as I stated earlier, there is much to do, and there is going to be a lot of time-lapsing, a lot of jumping ahead in today's episode. Of course, if things go wrong, if they go awry, you know that I'm going to be pulling you right back into the consciousness of our Baroness here. But we've cleared the structure. Well, apart from one potentially very dangerous corner here. We know that there is an infected in there, and it's been a while since we've been here. We've fought Hulks before in the past in there, and there could be something even worse than a Hulk waiting for us. So we're going to try our best to leave that undisturbed. And that Apis up there, well, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. There may be no convincing the being that following us is the right course of action. But for now, our course will lead us back outside and to our vehicle that has kept us safe thus far. We're going to take everything back with us. We're going to grab Savior, and we're going to make sure that Hilma has a little bit of a rest because she needs to try and break everyone out of here. And she doesn't have Lake to do that anymore. It's all going to be on her back. And so with that, we will put this rifle away. We will pick our pike off of the ground, and we'll get this vehicle moving back on towards home. And there we are. We've safely made it back home in one piece. We're going to stop driving. It is still early in the day. We are still dealing with some severe pain that we might be able to lessen, and we're probably going to need to if we're going to try and smash those prisoners free. Now, we could look at sending someone else to do that. Someone that's strong, someone that's capable, but we all know that that's going to be on Hilma. Yeah. We are going to be leaving this pike behind. We are instead going to be wielding Savior. We're not going to be saving and quitting. No, we're going to be dropping off the pike, Rycon. There it is. It's a little damaged. So much so that it might be worth us trying to see if we can repair it beforehand. Now, usually for that, we would need a blacksmith repair kit. And I'm trying to remember if ours is still together or if we have taken it apart in the time that we've been here. No, it is still here. Okay, so there's a chance that we might actually be able to utilize that here. So for us to repair Savior, we need to have one chunk of steel, which we currently are without. Now we do have some scrap metal, so we might be able to ask for that to get smelted into a chunk. But yeah, that depends. Indeed we can. Okay, and that's not going to take that long. 15 minutes. We could wait 15 minutes. And you know what? It looks like it's going to be pony again. So, while that is happening, we're going to try to see if we can track down any willow bark tea that we have that will, help with our pain. We could also have a look at putting some bandages on. Yeah, our torso is going to need something. So we're going to take these boiled makeshift bandages and we're going to wrap that onto that torso. We might as well put some cattail jelly on, apart from the fact that we can't. We can't right now. We would need to heat that up for that to work. But honestly, the bandage is going to make the difference for us right now. So we do have willow bark over here, but from memory, we did have some willow bark tea somewhere, so we're going to go and check the kitchen. Nothing in the kitchen, we'll check the cave, and then if there's nothing there, we'll just cook up a fresh batch. Not in here either, and that's okay, but what we have done is grab a sealed stomach, and we're going to use that. Let's go and get that fire started. Oh, and it looks like we actually have some new recipes in here. A welded battle axe and a bolted battle axe. Gnarly. And under food, we have a new recipe for pemmican, a meat-only variety. How nice. Oh, and some belt loops. Well, well. Attached tools and some weapons to load-bearing vests. Very nice. Although it does look like to move up this, it needs to be made from a synthetic fiber or fabric of some kind. Little difficult for us to do out here in the woods. But anyway, right now we are focusing on some nice willow bark tea, and there we go. We can make it. We are going to be a little bit slower, and I do like that we can actually see what is causing it. It's our hand encumbrance and our wounds, and that's okay. We're looking to spend a little bit of time so that Pony can finish his work. Let's just go and make, let's say, 3 units of the stuff for now. We're going to use the clean water that's currently boiling away on the fire, and we can already see that our pain is going down, which is great. But it's going to go down even more after we drink back some of this. It is also going to make us feel a little bit sick. But that's okay. We can deal with the nausea. Oh my gosh, wait, what? You see that? Down the bottom here, your handmade flintlock rusts due to black powder fouling. They both did that then. Well. Yeah, they're significantly damaged. All right. As much as I would want to bring Pony back here right now, we do have a fire going, and that's a little dangerous. It's nice for everyone else, but for Pony, we don't want him to catch on fire, so let's just go and call him back from this point. Oh, gosh. No. Okay, alright, we're running back really quickly. Come on. He's okay. He's back up the top. Alright, let's grab that chunk of steel then. Very out of breath now. Hilma was rather concerned that Pony was up in flames, but all is well. Let's just take a deep breath there, Hilma. There we are. And let us go do some work here. Activating the blacksmith repair kit, we are going to repair Savior. There's only a 19% chance of success here, so we're just going to say until we get a success or a failure. But hey, it's completely done. We've got enough bronze to be able to repair our Xiphos as well, so we certainly should do that. And that's that. They're both completely repaired. Excellent. Still in intense pain at the moment. That's not fantastic. But we got to push on, Hilma. The day is young, and there are people awaiting rescue. Intense pain will not hold us back, or at least we're going to try and not let it hold us back. The beast mutation is also causing us some pain, the primer that we took. We're also slightly overburdened, so we can help rectify that by just placing perhaps our rifles on the back of here, on our travois, rather than try and hold on to them. Yeah, let's drop them on in there right now. We've got the weight allowance for that. Yeah, it's weight right now that is causing us this. So we'll try and get rid of as much weight as possible. These aluminium ingots we should not be holding on to, nor should we have the blacksmith repair kit. We will take that with us though. And then it looks like it's just the clean water that's kind of holding us back. We'll leave that in the back there. If we need to drink, we will. But for now, we need to get back out onto the water and back across the river. So, Hilma, we have yet another big journey ahead of us. Let's get this thing a-rolling. Okay, we have arrived without trouble, without fanfare, and well, I don't know how good of a kraken we're going to be able to do here, but we are certainly going to try our best. So, we'll stop driving, we're going to head inside, and Hilma, let's see if we can do some rescuing. Alright, this is our first position here. We've got Mammy, and we have Cheryl. Okay, Hilma, let's start cracking at this wall. There we go. Hot damn, there was only a few whacks, but we got there. Now, they are certainly going to want to join us. There is something that we could potentially try to do rather than taking manual control of them and getting them outside, which is telling them about the location that we want them to go. And effectively, if we can get out of the area, theoretically, they should start making their way on over. So we will give that a shot to see if it'll work. And if not, we'll just have to head back in and get them out the old-fashioned way, one at a time. Okay, that's those two sorted. Now we need to move on to the next. So if we strike here, we should be able to get access to Christopher Childers and also Calvin Gaza. Alright, let's get cracking, Hilma. 5 strikes and we got there. Nice. Savior is doing some work. Okay, alright, we got both Gaza and Childers on their way, and it looks like Calvin's just going for it. Alright, actually, yeah, they're all trying to navigate the gas right now. Fantastic. Next up, we've got Terrence and we have Karen. Okay, let's get cracking, Hilma. Okay, alright, we're gonna have to go back out. We had 7 strikes, our strength has dropped to next to nothing. We need to get outside as fast as we can. We can see how slow we are right now. We're in unmanageable pain. We got struck there for a moment. The others are trying to get outside too. We're nearly out, Hilma. There we go. Fresh air. Our strength is better. Let's wait a while. Let's catch our breath. That should... Oh boy. I was going to say that should be enough to do it. But there is a sauropod hulk and we spotted it. We are going to stop catching our breath. Where is it? Because that's a danger not only to Hilma, but to the others as well. Okay. Where is this thing? It's to the north of us. Sauropod Hulk. It can't see our current location. Oh no! The others are out there. They made it. How did they make it out that way? I have no idea. None whatsoever. A Sauropod Hulk, you've got to be kidding me. Alright, Hilma. We need to move, and we need to move fast. Oh no, Calvin. Shh. Alright, the vehicle's going. We've never seen them exit before. We've never seen them able to do it. I didn't think that they would be able to. That's Gaza down, thrown back through the air by the Sauropod Hulk. We have a chance, Hilma. We do. It's a slim chance, but we might be able to save Cheryl. The Sauropod Hulk is injured. Alright, we're doing it. Step on the gas. The vehicle starts to fly, hurtling towards the Hulk. It impacts, and is thrown back in an instant, barely scratching the creature. Now we have little choice, Hilma. What do we do? Do we back up? Do we try and keep this thing's ire on us? It seems to be working. Slightly. Reversing. Okay, that might have been enough. Damn it. The area was safe. Not safe enough, though. Now this thing is coming right towards us. Okay, we're going to be dropping Savior on the ground. Savior, I'm sorry. We're going to have to run you down, I think. Okay, let's keep backing up. Let's bring this thing into the water. We can combat it better there. Okay, there we go. We're going to have a chance now, Hilma. We're going to have a moment, perhaps, to draw out one of our rifles. One of our fouled rifles. Hang on a second. They're in the rear there. Oh, this is bad. Okay, alright. If we're going to have to... we do not want to do inventory management on the water. We've already discussed that that is a horrifically bad idea. So we're going to stop here for a moment, let go of the controls, and check in here. Okay, they're both in there. They just weren't in our holsters. So we're just going to quickly put them in. Okay, alright. We should have both of them. Let's see. Yup. Okay, that's good. That's very good. Okay, we're going to keep that door open. We're going to spin back around. We're going to try and see if we can blast this sucker. Yeah. Right here. Sauropod Hulk. At least it's slow. That is the main thing. We draw out our rifle. We're going to have to stop driving. We're going to let go of those controls. And we're going to start to steady up. It's not going to help our aim 100%, but at least it'll get us steady before it's within range. And then, well, we can see that our aim just goes right back down. We want to be getting a precise shot here, if possible. Okay, 24 damage. Not amazing. We will take it. We'll try and get one more before we take off. I'm just going to go for that. 19 damage. Okay, we inhale the smoke as we start to accelerate away. That's good. Let's stop. We might even be able to get away with a reload here. Yep, we totally can. Alright, just enough time to get that done. Let's let go of the controls and be ready. It's nearly within our range. I think if we can guesstimate that it's going to be on that square, we'll be okay. We're going to ignore the distraction, continue aiming. Damn it. Okay, so we lose our steadiness. That's fine. Okay, we're just going to have to take the shot. It misfires. But there we go, 25 damage. And we can see how much health this thing has. It's a lot. We're just going to keep on driving around. I can't believe we lost someone there. But, I mean, Hilma was ready to fight. to keep on fighting. The thing can't even really see us now, it seems. It doesn't seem hostile to us unless we are right up against it. If we had our pike, we could attack it from a bit more of a distance, but we'd still be within its range. They have a fantastic range. Okay, it kind of seems to be just dawdling there. We're going to yell out to get its attention, and that works. Okay, steady, steady, steady. I'll take regular aim. We can't strike it for some reason. Yeah, could not target it whatsoever. Interesting. Let's accelerate, get a bit more distance. We'll try again. We're gonna have to swap rifles. Okay, the aiming point for it is actually ahead of it. That's why, I see. All right, we can get precise here. Oh, close to. It doesn't 100% know where we are, and we're just outside of its range now. Just take a step down, come on, come on. It's not gonna. We're gonna have to yell out again. That'll do it. Okay, steady, steady. Precise. Okay, 20 damage, still something. There we go. That's what we got. Now we accelerate away, we reload, and we do this again. All right, we're back in the thick of it. Getting ready to strike again. We'll take that. Oh, and that one's empty? How? I only reloaded them once, that's why. All right, well, let's get the other one out. Get ready to take our shot. Excellent. I don't know if we've got this thing bleeding yet or not. Barely. Barely. This thing needs to die before we bring anyone else out here, though. That, or the alternative, is we just try and lure it further away. Because right now, we don't 100% have the means to fight something this big. Any damage that we do to it, it could annihilate us in a single hit. If this frame goes down in the water while we're carrying this much stuff, that is death for Hilma. We can't take that. All right, we're gonna go in for another volley. All right. Careful shots we can get off pretty quickly, and they still wind up being good hits. So I think that those are the ones that I'm okay with us just trying to shoot for automatically. But I'm definitely gonna want some more distance than that. Yes, please, and thank you. Good. We're just yelling at this creature to get its attention, to try and get it to come a little bit closer to us. That'll work. That's definitely close enough. Okay, time to go, Hilma. Oh boy, too close for my comfort. 18 damage, and another 18. It's slow going, this. 19 and 26, have we taken it down anything yet? Nope, it is still sitting on those 3 bars of health. Yeah, we could very well exhaust all of our ammunition here trying to take this thing down. I think the best thing that we can do is just try to very slowly lure it away from here. Hilma, that's what's got to happen. And so it's 6 kilometers. We're going to try and see if we can just bring it further out into the water, and we're just going to have to snake backwards and forwards like this until it's far enough away from land that it shouldn't see anyone exiting that building. So far, being the Pied Piper, it's working. All right, we're going to hoon away now. We need to get back, and we need to get back for a few reasons. The first, of course, being collecting the remains that are up here. You will be buried. You will be given that right. But we can't afford you coming back. Hilma, we need to at least dismember. And this is going to cause some pretty horrific damage. The other alternative is it needs a coffin, not a knife. I know, Hilma. But we need to be certain, don't we? We can't risk an outbreak back at home. So with the butt of her rifle, we make sure that he's not going to come back. At least it's perhaps a little bit kinder than a full dismemberment. Calvin, I'm going to be moving you on over onto the travois, and it looks like, oh boy, yeah, we're going to have to create a bit of space there. And that's fine. We're willing to make that sacrifice, I think. It's volume more than anything, and right now that's coal, so let's refill what we can. Alright, it used a fair amount of the coal, but there is still going to be more coal that we end up just leaving out here. Giving Calvin some pieces is going to be more important. I think we're just going to have to carry a few of these ourselves. It'll make us over encumbered, but that's fine. Okay, grappling hook with the meat pies, we're probably going to have to wear. That's alright. We can take it off before we go back inside. We want to give ourselves the best shot possible to get those people out of there. Yeah, we've never seen them able to exit by themselves. Not without a gas mask. That is wild. And maybe things have actually been patched there, for all I know. I think for safety's sake, we're just going to get these rifles reloaded before we try anything else. Oh, and Savior, we're going to need to grab, aren't we? Yep, just back up here. I gotta hope that it didn't get damaged. Nope, still good. We're gonna knock back some more Willowbark tea just before we go inside. It's gonna make us sick, but we're gonna be sick in there anyway. Okay, Mammy's still in here trying to navigate her way out. These two. Alright, time to get onto you. Our breath's giving out. Our strength is failing. We are struggling to damage this thing enough. There we go. Okay, with 2 strength, just holding on, Hilma manages to free both Karen and Terrence. We'll talk to them both and get them heading home. Okay, those 2 are going to be on their way. And that's it. Apart from Apis, this creature, not human anymore. Hostile as well, but fleeing. We could try to free them, but in doing so, we may doom the others that are here. I think when we return here, and we are going to have to return to make sure that everyone has been able to make it out, we might look at freeing Apis. For now, though, we need to carry our hammer, and we need to get back home. And, oh boy, they opened this door? What could be through there? Not good, whatever it is, I imagine, but we might be able to shoot it. We might be able to put it out of its misery. We don't have our rifles on us right now. Let's take Savior, head back outside first. There we go, fresh air. Let's leave you there and get both of those rifles ready to go. Now, if there is a Hulk in there, it might not have seen people, so it hasn't tried to push its way out yet. It's entirely possible. Oh, that is... okay, that's 2 bad things. A hive Hulk. A bloated torso of this gigantic corpse is wrapped beneath sticky black fibers, and a wrestler, both of which could potentially smash their way out of there, so I think we just have to warn the others. Don't go in. Whatever you do, do not go in. Now, the journey to Hopetown is not going to be easy for anyone that's here, but we've got to hope that they can make it. For now, Hilma, we will be heading back. The route to freedom is there. They just need to take it. And, well, we've got work to do, don't we? Oh, both of our flintlocks are completely toast now. The fouling, no good. All right, let's get this body home. Back at home, a great number of us gather around a coffin, the would-be grave of Calvin Garza. And now we seal the coffin, just like so, and then dig. And now we have a chance to inscribe something. And it's not going to be a big epitaph. This is something I think that Hilma inscribes just on the coffin itself before it goes into the ground. Simple as that. And there we go. A grave. Another body to join Lakendra and the ground. Another failure. Yet around Hilma are so many successes. People that survive now because of her and what she and the others have built. It is early, but there is much to do, much to prepare for. New folks that will be joining us. And we have the resources here to produce a fair amount of clothing. And so, Hilma, it's time to get underway. Around the fire, they gather. They all work together to create clothes for those that don't have as many, and even more for those yet to arrive. And as the sun sets on a long day, we finish crafting 6 sets of leather sandals, leather loincloths, and a few t-shirts there. There's so much more work to do tomorrow. But for tonight, I think it's worth us celebrating. Well, I'll be honest, I was hoping to be able to make a cake or something like a cake, but we need milk, and milk is very, very hard to come by. We've only ever seen 1 or 2 cows, and that was a very, very long time ago. And those cows, well, to the best of our knowledge, they aren't around anymore. And having a look at Hilma's cooking capability, which is actually quite high at 7. One of the best things that we still can make at the moment are the pies that we have been eating. So we've kind of been eating as well as we possibly can, alternating between the veggie pies and those nice meat pies. And so, yeah, we are going to have something of a feast tonight. And you know, it'd be nice to have a roaring fireplace in the dining room here, but we have something else just as good: moonlight. It's only a half moon, but we can see. And so sitting in our dining room, we'll eat our pies and we'll have ourselves a good night. And so it is that Hilma and the others will be going to sleep tonight, happy and satisfied. And we can hope that in the morning, we will see those new survivors here. We know it's not an easy journey back, but we can hope, can't we? It's what we do best here. Hope. Well, good morning. And it is indeed a good morning. Well, it's not even morning. It's half an hour past midnight, and we've just found 3 people walking around our camp. We heard some noise outside. It's Cheryl, Morrissey, Terrence Monroe, and Christopher Childers, and there may even be others here. It's so hard to get the total numbers on the screen here, but now that we have those 3 back here at this point, we can check them over, make sure that they're okay, and we'll also be able to see if they have any other information for us. Karen Thayer, there we go. Terrence Monroe, yeah, that's our 4. So, first of all, Christopher Childers, let's have a look at you. Christopher, you are addiction resistant, infection resistant, pain resistant, spiritual, and terrifying, all in one. Well, that is interesting. Christopher doesn't have any interesting tales to tell us, but we're happy to have you here all the same. Next up, let's try and see if we can maybe have a chat with Terrence. Looking at Terrence, he is deft, indefatigable, infection resistant, and with a strong back. He's clumsy, disorganized, and he's a bit of a hoarder. Does seem to have some kind of weapon experience, which is always going to be useful. Some mechanics and some social skills as well. Interesting, while talking to Terrence about what he thinks happened here and back in our old prison, it seems he has some things to say. Okay, listen, don't believe the lies. There's a common thread to all of it. The riots, the violent goons, failing to contain it, even the giant monsters that they said were appearing in the last few days had to be wiped out with fire. All right, you've got my attention. This isn't happening. We're in a dream. To keep us locked in here, the evil creators of the dream have to make sure we're at just the right level of miserable while they slowly eat us. I think their algorithms got messed up, though, went into overdrive, because all of this is a little implausible. Still, I guess we're still in the dream, so maybe it's working. Right. Let's change gears here. And we will ask to talk for a bit, but about his history and how he survived the Cataclysm. My cave got swarmed by some of those bees, the ones the size of dogs. I took a few out with a stick, but pretty quick I realized it was either head for the hills or get stuck like a pig. The rest is history. The bees aren't usually aggressive right away. Well, excuse me if I didn't stop to motherfucking ask what kind of killer bugs they were. Sorry, maybe you could tell me more about them. Well, yeah, I'm sure you've seen them. They're everywhere. Like something out of a scary story. Some of the others in the cave got stung. It was no joke. I didn't stick around to see what the lasting effects were. I'm not ashamed to admit I ran like a damn chicken. Right, well, thank you, Terrence. Well, that just leaves Cheryl and Karen. Having a look at Cheryl, she does have animal empathy, light step. She's fructose intolerant, nearsighted, and squeamish. Glasses won't be impossible for us to make, but I can't imagine they'd be very good quality. She does have mechanical skill, but a lot of social skill. She's a good talker, and she actually has a fair amount of strength, quite fit. And when questioning her about how everything started, it seems that we have something new here. Well, my husband made it out with me, but got eaten by one of those goddamn plant monsters a few days before I met you. This hasn't been a great year for me. Unless Gaza was her husband. But no, this sounds different. Plant monster, not a big dinosaur. So in her mind, she's only been in there for days. Maybe that's all her mind is allowing her to remember. Can you tell me anything about those monsters? Yeah? You haven't seen them yet? They're these deplorable walking flowers with a big fucking stinger in the middle. They travel in packs. They hate the giant insects except for bees for whatever reason, and we were using them for cover to clear a horde of them. Unfortunately, it turns out the plants are better trackers than bugs. They almost seemed intelligent. I barely made it out, only because they were distracted. I'm sorry you lost someone. Well, that's how it goes, you know, these are the end times. I don't really want to talk about it more than that. And honestly, I haven't ever really felt like I belonged in the old world. In a weird way, I actually feel like I have a purpose now. Do you get that? I do. I understand, and, well, a place like this could use a person like you. The person I am now is, well, it's vastly different from who I was before. I guess those of us that have made it this far have made it for some reason or something. I don't mean like a religious reason. We're just survivors. Anyway, yeah, let's get back to it. And finally, I believe we have Karen to talk to. Karen Thayer is poison resistant, with asthma, a fructose intolerance, and a wool allergy. She does have some throwing skill, some rifle skills, and actually is a fairly decent driver. Very nice. And at this point, she doesn't have much new to share with us. So, we're going to be sure that they get dressed, that they get clothed, and they find a place here, a home among Hopetown. And as Hilma drifts off to sleep this night, they were nearly halfway through the winter before spring returns, marking yet another year passed here at the dawn of time. In those final days, she and the people of Hopetown will weave cloaks, make clothes, and make these new rescuees feel at home. Resources would be gathered from far and wide to complete some of the tasks that the town had long desired. Craters would be dived for their resources, metal smelted down, pipes forged, metal sheets bashed into flat shape. Even the central area of the camp would finally be filled with something. The first piece of construction, some basic planters, out the side of the kitchen, somewhere where herbs and vegetables could be grown outside of the larger farming fields. Slowly, the pieces would come together. Yet another room is constructed, more space for the growing town. And finally, after sinking many resources, Hopetown now has its very own brewery. If spring goes well, booze will be on the lips of these townsfolk by the time the season's out. Many hands made light work. What would have taken days for a single person to construct, the town could construct within hours. Yet another room is constructed, and the beds within. A new stove is shifted in, and another smaller dining area. The central hall expands further out. Hilma Baron awakes on the 16th of winter with some very hard days behind her. Everyone is aching from the hard work that they've been putting in. We're going to be taking off our noise-cancelling headgear. We're going to be telling everyone to wake up, and as you can see, there's many voices responding to that. It seems that even though we have so many bedrooms now, they still are more comfortable here in the cave, nearby where Hilma is. And frankly, we can't entirely blame them, can we? And look at these numbers. Look at all of these people. And everyone is relatively well dressed, as much as we've been able to manage in the time that we've had so far. There is unfortunately still one person missing. Mammy. We still haven't seen her, which means that she is still out there in the world. And so, if she's not here this morning, we are going to have to go out there. But we'll see what's going on with everyone else as we slowly make our way through the town. And as you might be able to see, things have expanded a lot in the center here. This is our full central building. We've constructed all that we possibly can at this stage. We have the maximum number of rooms. We have this dining area in the center here. There's even a little fireplace and somewhere to store tools. It's a lot of work. A lot of work has gone into this place. And having a look at this here, we actually have access to things that we didn't before. We can do patrols. We can send out scout missions to go and see things that are further away. All dangerous prospects, but it's good to know that those are options for Hopetown going forwards. They can even start to look at putting down trenches and doing spiked fortifications around the camp. Something that makes sense when you've got some very, very big dinosaurs out there in the world. And then of course the canteen has been fully upgraded as well. We can put in one more set of planters, but I don't really feel like that's going to be necessary. Even with all of the construction that we have done, we still have logs left over. Arturo did a sensational job collecting the amount of wood that he did. Unbelievable, really. and even the panels that we used in here as well. What we had worked on before was enough for us to construct all of this. The only thing that Hilma had to focus on was making a load of hinges, and that wasn't so bad. Now there is one thing that can be constructed up here, and that's the obstacle course. Yeah, that thing there. And I think to the south is where the radio tower would be, but the radio tower would be a considerable job. It needs some very big wind turbines to keep it going, some storage batteries, which we have. The pipes are easy enough to do, but really, even if we did make this radio tower, it wouldn't help us because we don't have radios. It would give us sight of the area, which is kind of cool, and it potentially had me wanting to make it, but I think it's got to be more of like a single thing, or maybe just like 4 wide. I don't think it's going to be the kind of radio tower that we can climb. If it is, that's phenomenal. That's super cool. But I do not see them being able to construct something that big with the kind of resources that we had there. Like, that would be in the thousands of pipes rather than just, 36 or something like that it was asking for there. So I think it's going to be much more of a smaller scale radio tower, which would make sense for a place like this. But yes, Hilma isn't quite done yet. There is that person that we're missing. Mammy, I believe, from memory. And you know what? I'm going to try and stand out here in such a way that we can get a look at everyone, or near everyone. We definitely still have some people that are probably hiding off in different areas around the town, but that's perfectly fine. I am incredibly impressed with what they have been able to help us with so far. And yeah, we don't see any new faces here. We don't see Mammy, which means she's out there, and that means that Hilma is going to have to go out. And what for us will be the last time. And so we will be leaving everyone here, guarding in position. And there's just so many of them as well. But yep, we'll watch out, get out the way of you. And they'll kind of spread around, get comfortable. Many of them have weapons, and those that don't have just chosen not to, because I've actually allowed them to pick up whatever they want. We're actually still seeing Arturo from here, who was sitting up in the crafts area, no doubt working on something fun. But yes, Hilma, let's return to our vehicle here. We can't leave the book out there like that, can we? No, let's make sure that we carry that along with us. Yep, in the back, there we go. We'll make sure that we have something to eat, something to drink before we get going. We can see that everything has been unloaded from there as well. They've done a good job at actually spacing everything out. Oh, we've got, 2 others here as well. Maricruz and also Lisbeth Samuels. Yeah, let's knock back those pies. Still hot from the fire close by. We'll drink some of that nice, cool, but hot water. Refreshing but hot, I think is what I meant to get across. And from here, well, we gotta head out there again. But, we're doing so with weapons that don't quite work right now. So they're going to be staying behind. We could take out the old blunderbusses. You know what? I think that's what we're going to do. There's still 30 slugs left. We like it. And just before we jump into our vehicle and get going on this odyssey to find someone lost, let's first get a little weird. And there we are, with a change of perspective. Now, you might be wondering, what is going on? Now, there are some isometric tile sets that are available in Cataclysm, and this is the Ultica set. Obviously, you can see that there are some things that are currently missing, some things that aren't processing properly, but that's Hilma there in the center of the screen, and next to us we have Christopher Childers, who is currently trying to chase us down. Yeah, we probably want you to stay a little bit further away when we jump into our vehicle, but I figured we could have a little bit of a tour of things from this different perspective. So we can see our bookshelves that are on the inside here. Just to the side, that's where we have our drop hammer, which isn't properly rendered in there at the moment. Now, there are varying versions of this. Some of them have more complete tile sets than others, but as far as this one goes, it's not bad. It's not bad. There are things that are missing, but I do think it is an interesting way to potentially play Cataclysm, and it also changes your perspective. As, over here in the corner, Arturo is actually standing on top of the table, which I didn't realize first. but there he is. And if we walk back through here, back through to the outside courtyard, we can see everybody else that's here. And yeah, there's a lot of folks here. A lot of them. Wow. And we can see that, yeah, maybe those tunics that do indeed cover the legs might not cover the legs as much as one might hope. What I find with this is that it gives you an idea of the scale and the scope of the place that you're in. Let's actually just tell Christopher here to guard. Yeah, please just stay here for the moment. As we're going to walk past these tables and chairs, and we're going to walk back outside and on over towards our cave. Our cave, which we're not actually seeing the outside of. It might be a little bit difficult to navigate this, and of course, those are the graves there as well. Oh boy, yeah, not exactly easy to navigate as we can't see the walls. They're all down right now. Hello, that's Chia the Chihuahua, rendering as a kitten right now, and we can see some of the messages that we left on the wall in our time here. Rest in peace, Alan, the Allosaurus. Rest in peace, Samo. Rest in peace, Sarah, the mighty. Let there be light. And that's us inscribing a year with Hilma. I think we missed the second year there as well. And of course, there should be one for Caterpillar here, but I don't see that right now. Definitely should be around here somewhere. But yes, let's head a little bit further in. And on the other side, we can see where Hilma has been living most of her time here. And her bed isn't actually showing up at the moment, but it's right here. But so much of our time has been spent in this little cave here. We'll actually pop downstairs and it'll pop us out where that beam of light is. And this is, you know, our salvation. This is what allowed us to survive early on. At least for a little bit. Just here, huddling in this bit of light, we were able to carve out something of a life for ourselves, which I'm still so proud of Hilma for accomplishing that. I mean, really, what saved us was being able to stay in the mouth of the cave here, in our little shelter that we had out the front. Yeah, so I think it's this cave, it's Hotel Oscar, that helped save her, gave her the chance to make all of this spread out across this entire space. We can see the stables off towards the side there, and down to the south we have our garage, watching out for blackberry bushes, of course, and the great big storage, which we have only really ever used a bit of it. Yeah, there's a lot of room there for Hopetown to expand. But yes, we've spent enough time in this perspective. Let us shift once again. Oh yes, and one last little glimpse. We have Smash Button ISO, where it seems like there are a lot more tiles completed in this set. I quite like the little animations that we have going on there, and of course, the sprites are simplistic, but it has its own unique charm to it, and it does give you a sense of the scale and the space that we have around us. But yes, as I stated, let's shift that perspective again. We find ourselves back on the water, having safely navigated so far, and we can still find a few Migos out here. We actually drove past them initially when we were making our way back home. You know what? This is a rescue mission, but we still can do some work here, can't we? Yeah, and we should. We continue to strike at them as we joust backwards and forwards. There we go. A critical, impaling the creature as we spin our ride around. Oh, a little bit of trouble there, but nothing we can't handle. It's on our vehicle, but I don't think it's going to be there for all that long. There we go, pushed off. Hilma's leg, bleeding ever so slightly. We strike again, and again. It is dead. One left. There we go, a good strike. We've got it on the run. We continue, dancing around it, impaling it as we drive on by. It can't have much life left in it. We get close, and there we go. The Migo is dead. Alright, Hilma, let's find Mammy. We can see her. Okay, but where? Right there. Hot damn. Okay, let's slow the vehicle. Let's see what she tries to do. Are you gonna... You gotta jump on. Okay. Oh boy, this is dangerous. As we know, there are horrific things that await us in that water. Hold on tight. We need to make sure we're crossing at the best point possible. Oh yeah, and Apis is still in there. Let's focus on Mammy to begin with. And one thing that we have to be certain of is that she is not going to engage no matter what. Stick close to me no matter what is the order, and to not engage. Now, I think if we can spin around here, we might have a shorter passage to the north, and that's what we're going to shoot for. The only issue is that northern passage brings us closer to that Watcher, the weirdo on the eastern side of the river. Oh boy, and there's a lot of trouble heading this way. Hold on tight. Let's just keep on driving. And this is it. This is our point. Okay, we're going for it. We're stepping on the gas. We want to see if we can hit 25, but I don't think we're going to be able to. The engine's straining because we're carrying an extra person. We hit the water, and we're doing it. We're making it so far. Okay. And there we go. On the other side, we hear Mammy speak. Or Urban. You know what? Let's go with Urban. She says, "At least we know they can die." I agree. At least we know that much. But as Hilma continues to drive, that sense, that dread that has been in the back of her mind for so long, builds. There are spiders ahead, sure, that's a problem, but she can sense it. She can feel it. She's being watched. And then, in a moment, frozen in time, she sees a glint to her west back down by the river. Glass, and then a sound that tears through the morning air and through Hilma. The Hope in flames, Hilma thrown from the vehicle, and Urban too. With her head ringing, she pulls her face up from the shattered window, the coal inside the vehicle igniting. She can see Urban still close by. Hilma calls out, instructing her to carry on, to push forwards to Camp Hope. "I'll make my way there," the injured woman responds, and then she leaves. Running off to the east, as part of the vehicle explodes, the pressure of the steam engine releasing a barrage of wood, Hilma crawls, pulling herself away, her pike impaled deep into the ground, towards the water's edge. But that's as far as she can make it, her strength giving out. As more of the vehicle is consumed by flames, she starts to lose consciousness once again. Footsteps. She can hear footsteps, but they're not the bare feet of Urban. They're boots, and they're getting close. Consciousness comes and goes, like waking in a dream. She's being carried. Hilma can be sure of that. The smell of the open plains starts to shift. So too does the sun on her skin. She's entering a forest. Squinting through dazed eyes, she can start to make out trees and the shadows that they cast. But then a break in the tree line, an opening, and then something else. The earth rises up in a square, neat, ordered, man-made, and there is a door, cold, manufactured steel. Her carrier continues. Inside the tomb, the door closing behind them, the inside dark, completely dark. Hilma can make out her breathing, and the boots of the stranger on concrete steps. Hilma's eyes are just a light. A chain link fence opens in front of her, closing behind. A key into a lock, past the hum of an air conditioning unit. With the light of kerosene lanterns, she can make out the metallic sheet walls, manufactured by machine, not man. They continue. Another door closing behind her. A kitchen, a dining room. Another door. A bedroom. Or a cell. The door closes behind her. Hilma is laid to rest. The booted individual sees to her wounds with a sigh of relief. They seem mostly superficial. The subject isn't damaged. A syringe draws blood from her arm, and another drills deeper, directly into the marrow. The pain, too much, and unconsciousness arrives. Painkillers enter her system, easing the pain, dulling her senses. But through that fog, she can still hear, through moments of consciousness, a voice on the other side of the door, a voice that she does not recognize. He speaks of a Project Arius, of a subject, a source for a weapon, a tool for humanity to fight back. Baron. She hears her name, which is quickly corrected. Subject Thea. The words mean nothing to her, yet she tries to focus, and in so doing, realizes that the man on the other side of the door isn't speaking to himself. He's sending a message. The night passes, and Hilma awakes. Her equipment gone, and now she has little more than a dress shirt and leggings, both of which are not from this time. Even the kerosene lantern on the desk, made in the United States of America. Checking the door, to no surprise, it's locked. In her possession, she has the oil lamp, a pillow, a down blanket, and a wool scarf. Another hour passes, or as best as she can guess. She can hear movement again, footsteps outside of her cell. Another message being recorded, sneaking forwards. Yet again, she can only make out a few words. Her captor mentions an exact match, that he's sending the package. Her. Is she the package? Who is this watcher? And what do they know? She stands, pacing, thinking, trying to find a solution. But looking around the cell, it seems there is only one. She would have to fight. Once a pacifist, Hilma has done much to survive here. She will not be held against her will. She will be free. And so, looking around that cell again, the chair, that would be the easiest thing to break. And the lantern, well, that could create quite the scene. But she'd need to save that, wait for the right time to strike. Same goes for the chair. She bashes it now, her captor may rush in and stop her in the process. No, she would need to wait. There was quiet early on. There could be quiet again, and so she waits, quietly planning, as again, the footsteps outside her cell grow distant. A door further in the complex opens and closes, the slight jingle of a chain link fence. He's leaving. Now is the time. Bashing herself against the chair, slamming it into the wall, she tries again and again, but to no effect. It's of solid make. She won't be bashing that so easily. So then, the lantern, taking it into her hand, extinguishing the flame. She tries yet again. And there, the first strike. The chair is broken. The lantern ignites again. And now Hilma has a short wooden post. Not much of a weapon, but better than what she had. Now, with the short wooden post in her hand, there isn't much else she can do but wait. Pacing back and forth, tapping the solid piece of chair now in her hand. She only had one chance, and that chance was fast approaching. She held still, hearing the footsteps near. The outside gate, an inside door, the key entering the lock on her door. As Hilma takes a step back, the cell door opens. For the first time, she is face to face with her captor. The first thing her eyes focus on is the hunting rifle pointed right at her. And then the large combat boots, just as Lakendra described. The Watcher. Hilma froze, with the piece of broken chair behind her back. The man seemed hesitant, cautious, stepping forwards. His body blocks the escape. He opened his mouth to speak. I know you're not gonna believe me, but you're gonna save our world. You're the one that we've been searching for. That they have been searching for. Who's they? The enemy, of course. The extra-dimensional fucks, who are not just fighting us in our time, our real time, but all across it. They're aware of us now. They've seen us, and somehow you're gonna help beat them. But not you. Not exactly. There's no way back. At least for organics as big as us. I know that's not what you wanted to hear, but part of you is back there now. Project Arius. That's what's gonna save us. Give us a fighting chance. It's you, Hilma. It's your DNA, your makeup. Not just that, it's everything that makes you, you. You haven't just survived here. You've thrived. Whatever obstacle they've thrown your way, you've beaten. You single-handedly took down one of their key nodes, but a few days ago. But there's no way back, no way home. No. Especially not for you. You're too valuable to the project. The samples I've sent through. Samples? I won't know if that's everything they need. Not yet. There's a delay. So you're keeping me here. Prisoner, what I'm doing is keeping you safe. The squids are going crazy up there. After your last stunt, I think they've seen enough. They'll be after blood. So I'm staying. It's protocol. I'm sorry. I'm just following orders. I see how it is. Hilma moves to the side, quickly picks up the oil lantern in her hand. As Winslow steps inside, and she hurls it against the wall. With a clang and a thud, it lands unbroken. Shit! With no other option, she rushes for the rifle. A shot tears through the air and through the torso of Hilma, piercing out of her right arm, slamming into the wall behind her. Winslow chambers another round, fires, yet Hilma dodges to the side, adrenaline flowing through her. The rifle is spent, wresting it from Winslow. The rifle is now in her hands. As blood gushes from her torso, Hilma continues to fight, but Winslow's defense is strong. She pivots to the side. She just needs to get past him. Another strike to his head, causing him to miss and stumble. Hilma moves around, striking once more for good measure, and then she turns to run, slamming the door behind her, buying herself a moment. Yet the door swings open, Angel wielding a broken piece of the chair. The chase continues. Slamming another door shut, Hilma makes for the entrance. With blood trailing out behind her, she's nearly there. The surface on the other side of the gate. The doors left unlocked. Wait! Winslow calls out. I won't be a prisoner again. Hilma spits out before she makes for the surface, pulling herself up the stairs. Disaster awaits her. An armored Hadrosaurus has slammed through the front, the rifle shots drawing it in. A bulky, four-legged dinosaur corpse with a sharpened beak has grown dense bone armor all across its flesh. She has to break free. Pushing to the side, she tries just that. It bites down, yet she slips free. Pushing forwards for the door, she continues to run, with Winslow now making it to the surface. Oh, fuck. Out into the light she runs, as Winslow is stomped to the ground by the massive creature. She's out, she's free, but she is bleeding. But that one Camptosaurus wasn't the only one, as Winslow screams from within the bunker. The forest descends on Hilma. And then from the sky, falls to her knees as the Camptosaurus nearby collapses into a bloodied heap. The screams inside drowned out by the wave of noise emanating from the clouds. Not just a sound wave, this noise touched the very center of Hilma's brain. A calling, a warning. She did not know, nor could she think, stumbling back towards the entrance. 2 bodies lay dead, Winslow and the armored Camptosaurus. The sound dissipating until it returns, stronger than ever. As pain and exhaustion overtakes her, Hilma sees the sky part, a great eye. The end is nigh. But the end is never truly the end, is it? As this is not the end of Hilma's tale. Her experience here at the dawn of time has been but a layer of her observation, and in the mind or the minds of the great observers, they have deemed her worthy. A searing heat. She feels the wound on her chest and arm seal. There is a sense of great momentum and pressure until finally release.
Are you the one I've been waiting for? You might be. I hope so. It's been so many cycles since I was her. Do I even still remember hope? I wasn't sure you'd ever turn up. The odds just kept getting longer. I guess I've been losing faith, while they've been gaining power. You have to reach me. Everything depends on your survival. Master this world. Make allies of its many creatures. Grow your strength and skill. Explore this place like I did so long ago. Put the pieces together and find me, survivor. You may be the only one who can.
The sound of the sea, sand against her skin. Hilma Baron, you survive yet. And Legionnaires, this is where our story ends in Innawood and continues on in Ark Survival Evolved. And so I hope you'll join me for the next step in Hilma's survival. Everything she's learned so far, she'll need to use to stay alive. While in some ways she's back at square one, she has the knowledge and the will now that she didn't before. There is so much more to know, so much more to be observed. And here, now, at the end of this series, I'd like to take a little bit of a moment to thank every single one of you who has joined me on this journey so far. Those of you who have left your stories, your anecdotes, your suggestions, and your guidance. All of it has helped Hilma survive. And those of you that have provided your own stories and fan art, like the fantastic work you're seeing on your screen right now. Thank you all from the bottom of my heart. It is never easy to end a series, but I felt as though we had explored nearly all we were going to at this stage in Innawood. We completed our settlement, and yes, Hilma possibly could have pushed that technology tree out further, but the steps between them were becoming much longer, and the hours and hours spent recording were becoming rather long. And you never want things to get boring for a series such as this. But we sure as heck did go out with a bang, didn't we? And now we know a little bit more about the greater lore existing within my Cataclysm universe here. There are hints sprinkled throughout every playthrough of a greater tale being told behind the scenes. And as time goes on, that picture will become much clearer. And well, Legionnaires, I'd like to thank you one final time here in Innawood for joining me for yet another episode, yet another tale in the Cataclysm. If you enjoyed this series, please consider leaving a comment or a like to let me know if you enjoyed the show. As for now, I have been Rycon, You have all been awesome. And until next time, stay tuned. Director, I apologize for the intrusion, but we have received a package. Material from Site Alpha.
Let's see it.
If from Winslow, I believe.
Right. The kid seems certain. Not bad. Well, initial reading's good. I think we could be looking at our gal.
You are certain of this?
We knew Alpha was gonna find it. That information enough was good. It was just a question of when. And I honestly didn't expect it to be the first.
Does that mean we can begin production?
Hold your horses. Remember, kid, we still got time. Protocol dictates we start with the prototype.
Of course.
We can't afford to get this wrong.
We will not, sir. One more question, Director. We have enough material for 2 prototypes.
Twins then. Alright. You have my go-ahead. Begin areas.
Just need your bio-authorization. Thumbprint there and... Yes, signature there. Thank you, Director. Owen Winslow.
Silence return communication. Keep monitoring the signal. Inform me if there's any change.
Roger, sir.
Twins.